Just make yourself comfortable on the mat, your carpet, whatever space. It's going to be yours today on the ground. We'll go ahead and lie back here and find what's comfortable for you, either having our legs extended, letting your feet turn out. If it's more comfortable, you can place your feet on the ground, moving your feet to the edges of the mat or wider than hip width distance, letting your knees fall in. This will give your low back a little bit of a relief. And our arms are just going to be out to our sides, palms facing up towards the sky. And we let our gaze slowly soften, coming together with our eyes closed. Just giving ourselves a few moments here to settle onto our mat. Letting everything else in the world go for the next 45 minutes. Knowing it'll all be there for us when we come back. But giving ourselves this time here to rest and recharge. Letting all those final thoughts go, bringing yourself into the four corners of the room you're in, onto the four corners of your mat. Starting to think about an intention for our practice today. Thinking about something that makes you feel confident. Maybe an accomplishment you've achieved. Maybe a project you finished. A goal you had set out and have completed. Use that feeling of confidence, of accomplishment throughout your practice today. As you think of that moment, we're going to start to transition our thought into our breath. Noticing that air flowing in and out of our body. Breathing in through the nose to warm that air. Breathing out through the nose or mouth, whichever is more comfortable. Starting to take deeper breaths. As we inhale, expanding our lungs, expanding our belly. As we exhale, letting all that air go. Maybe we do a few breaths here. We breathe in, inhaling here. Holding that breath at the top for 1, 2, and release with an audible sigh here. Releasing that breath. Good. Coming into it again, we breathe in. Filling those lungs, we hold our breath for 1, 2, and release. Good. Coming back into our normal breathing here. Go ahead and place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. We're going to think about our breathing here in 3 parts. We're going to think about it at the top with our top hand, the middle at the base of our ribs, and then the bottom where our bottom hand is on our belly. As we fill our lungs, we're filling them from the bottom to the middle to the top. And as we exhale, we release from the top to the middle to the bottom, taking control of our breath here. Continuing to fill and continuing to release. Good. Go ahead and place your hands down at your side. And if your knees are up towards the sky, we're going to go ahead and extend those legs out. If this is not comfortable for you, go ahead and leave those knees up towards the sky with the feet planted. We're going to tuck our shoulder blades under. A little tilt in our pelvis here. Good, engaging those lower abdominal muscles. We're going to start warming up our arms and our legs by using our breath. Using imagery here, we inhale, we picture that breath flowing in through our nose, to our throat, to our chest, through our belly, to our hips, our thighs, our knees, into our calves, our ankles, and our toes. And as we exhale, we pull that breath back out from toes to ankles, to calves, to knees, to thighs, to hips, up through our belly, to our chest, into our throat, out our nose and mouth. Breathing in strong enough to push that air all the way into our toes, and exhaling strong enough to pull that air back out. There's a point of tension. If we hold that breath there for just a moment before it continues on. As we breathe in here, we breathe in positivity, relaxation, courage. And as we exhale, we pull out any negativity, any tension, any doubt. And on our next inhale, we transition that breath into our arms. As we breathe in through our nose. Our breath travels to our throat, to our chest, into our shoulders, to our upper arms, through our elbows to forearms, wrists all the way to our fingertips. And as we exhale, we pull that breath from fingertips to wrists to forearms, through our elbows to our upper arms to shoulders, into our chest, up through our throat, out our nose and mouth. Once again, breathing in strong enough for that breath to travel all the way to our fingertips. And exhaling with the strength to pull that breath back out. We breathe in positivity, relaxation, courage. We exhale any negativity, any tension, any doubt. Good. Now on our next inhale, we're going to go ahead and blink our eyes open. Our feet are going to come to plant on our mat, close to our hips, as close as comfortable. Our knees are up towards the sky. Our hands are at our sides. And as we inhale, we're going to tilt our pelvis, bringing just the tip of our spine, our tailbone, up off the mat, grounding our lower back into the mat. And exhale, we release. A very small movement here. Inhale, we ground through the heels of our feet. We curl that tailbone up off the mat. And exhale, we release. Good. Focusing on feeling our abdominal muscles engage, our pelvic floor muscles engage here as we curl up just at the bottom. Good. Trying to focus on this as we're sitting, standing, lying. Trying to create this as the base of good posture. Good. And as you feel comfortable with this, we're going to inhale and curl our tailbone off the mat. And we're going to push through our hips and peel our spine off the mat, coming into a bridge, holding just for a moment before we exhale and we slowly release one vertebrae at a time back onto the mat. Feeling those glute muscles, those butt muscles start to engage here. As we inhale, we curl up off the mat, peeling that spine slowly off the mat. And exhale, we release back down, one vertebrae at a time. Good. One more time here, we inhale, we curl that tailbone up, peeling that spine off our mat. And exhale, we lower back down. Good. On our next inhale, our hands are going to come up towards the sky. We're going to stop here. We're going to reach towards the sky. And exhale. We're going to let those hands fall back behind us. Our upper arms on either side of our head. We're going to straighten our legs if they're not already. And we're going to stretch. Hands in one direction, feet in the other. A nice good morning stretch here. Maybe we're just starting our morning now. Maybe we started a while ago, but you've been sitting. Good, maybe you've been moving, but just taking a moment to stretch out that body. Good. On your next inhale, our hands are going to come back up towards the sky. And as we exhale, creating one motion, our hands are going to come down towards our sides. Inhale, we're going to repeat this. Our hands come up towards the sky. And exhale, they fall back behind us on either side of our head, creating this arching movement here. Following your breath, continuing this movement here for a few more breaths. Good. Creating this rainbow shape with our hands. Inhaling as we come up towards the sky. Exhaling as those hands fall back down to the ground. Good. Completing where you're at and then doing one more flow here. Hands come up towards the sky. Good. Moving at your own pace here. Good. And then next time your hands leave the mat, we're going to let them rest there. Good. Taking your time here. Once you're there and ready, we're going to bring our knees up towards the sky, feet plant. We're going to go ahead and roll over to our left or our right side. It doesn't matter. And then we're going to bring ourselves up into a seated position here. Good. We're sitting nice and tall here. We can sit either cross-legged or with our legs extended here. We're going to move side to side, finding those sit bones, so the bony point as we kind of move side to side. We want to be right on those points. And then we're going to sit nice and tall like someone's pulling a string from our head. We want to make sure we're long in the back of our neck. It's really easy to start to bring that chin up when we think about staying tall. We're going to tuck that chin very slightly, keeping long in the back of our neck. Our shoulders are going to come up as we breathe in and exhale. We're going to bring those shoulders down and back. Finding this position here, the base for our posture. As we inhale, our hands are going to come up as our shoulders stay down and back. Good. So maybe as our hands come up, our shoulders rise. We want to bring those down. As we exhale, we're going to come over to our left side. Our hands going to plant on the ground. We're going to stretch over, feeling that stretch through our right side. Our arm is up and over. We're leaving that space around our head. So if your arms plant up, I want you to move it away there. We can crawl out that left hand a little bit further for a deeper stretch if you'd like, making sure that both of our sit bones, both of our hips are still grounded on that mat here. Good. If you feel like you're stretching a little bit more from the hip, I want you to focus on stretching from the side here. Good. So we feel a little bit more of a crease in that waist, the base of our rib area on that left side. Continuing to breathe through the stretch here. Inhale, we rise back up. And exhale, we're going to come to the other side. Same thing here. We walk that hand out. Hip bones stay grounded. We keep that space between our arm and our head. Good. Maybe we find a slight bend in our elbow to deepen that stretch. Good. We're going to fix that torso. So the base of our torso is a little bit more upright. And we're finding more of a curve through our ribs and our side than at our hip. Good. Continuing to breathe here. Good. Inhale, we're going to rise back up. And with our next exhale, what we're going to do, go ahead and leave your arms up. I'm just going to switch positions so you can see here. We're going to bring our hands down towards our mat. We're going to stay nice and flat in our back as we crawl those hands forward ever so slightly. We're not going to get very far here. Keeping that back nice and flat. Our neck is nice and long in the back. Good. We're staying as if there's a plank. It goes from the top of our head to the base of our back. It should touch every point here. Shoulders are down and back. Good. And if this is comfortable for you, and you'd like to try, you can begin to tuck your chin slightly, feeling that stretch around your back. If it's uncomfortable, if you feel any pain, go ahead and just leave your head right where it's at. Good. And if your head and your chin is tucked, go ahead and bring it back up, remembering to keep length in the back of that neck. Taking a big, deep breath in. As we exhale, we fall all the way forward. Our hands reach out forward. Our head and our neck hang and relax. And we just let that whole back stretch out here. Good. If you need a modification, if this is a little bit too intense, we can bring our fists one on top of the other and use that to rest our head. Good. We can prop our elbows up. If that's still too intense, using our hands, we can rest our head as well too. Good. Finding what level of intensity is good for you. Enough to still get a stretch out of this, but not too much that you're too uncomfortable. On our next inhale, we're going to roll up from the base of our spine, ending with our head at the top, taking a little bit of time here. Good. And then we're going to go back into our flow side to side with those side stretches. Inhale, we're going to come up. We're going to move with one breath from movement. So exhale, we're going to come over to one side. Inhale, we're going to use those side muscles to pull ourselves back up. Exhale, we come to the other side. Inhale, we use those muscles over here on the side to pull ourselves back up. Good, moving with our breath, you're swaying side to side. Good, maybe finding a little bit more range on each release here. Good, a few more here. One more on each side, we exhale. Coming down, feeling that stretch, inhale, and last one. We rise back up. Good, I'm going to turn to the side, we stay here, and as we exhale, keeping that spine long, we reach forward slightly, keeping long in the back of our neck. Taking a moment here to tuck our chin if we'd like to. Inhale, we release that chin tuck, we're long in the back of our neck. Big deep breath in here. And exhale, we fold over, releasing everything, letting our head and neck hang. Knowing that we have those other options to elevate the head here, to keep our head above our heart, or to just decrease the intensity in this stretch. Inhale, we slowly roll up from the base of our spine to the top. Good. And what we're going to do next is go ahead and shift our feet around back behind us. We're going to meet in the tabletop position. So here I've got my hips stacked above my knees. I've got my shoulders stacked above my wrists. My fingers are going to be nice and wide here, and I'm going to push through each of my fingertips. I'm going to think about that pelvic tilt we did at the beginning and try to keep my back as flat as I can. Maybe a little bit of a natural curve in the low back, but we do want to focus on keeping those abdominal muscles engaged here. And so as we inhale, we're going to drop that belly. Our tailbone is going to come up, our chin's going to come up as we come into cow. And as we exhale, we're going to round that spine, tucking that tailbone under, tucking our chin, separating those shoulder blades in our back, coming into cat. As we inhale, we're going to open up that chest, open up that belly, let that air come in. Exhale. We're rounding that spine. We're pushing out all of that air here. One more time as we inhale, we come into cow. Opening up that chest, pushing through the floor. Exhale once more into cat. Separating those shoulders, and we release and come back into tabletop position. Good. On our next inhale, we're going to stretch our left foot back behind us. We're pushing through our heel, going for length over height here. Toes point down towards the ground. Good. And when you're ready, we bring our right hand out. We come into a spinal balance here. You have an option to drop the toes and or drop the pinky as well too for a little bit of assistance with balance. You still want to think about engaging those abdominal muscles. That's going to help with the balance here. Engaging that core. Holding here, breathing, finding that stillness. Finding a point on the floor to keep our gaze. As we exhale, we place our hand and our knee back on the mat. Good. We'll sway our hips side to side here, loosening up those muscles. Good. We'll go ahead and come back into tabletop. This time our right foot's going to push back behind us. We're trying to keep that weight centered as much as possible. Toes point down. We're pushing back through the heel. Left hand comes up. Spinal balance on the opposite side here. Again, keeping that core engaged. Good. Using those abdominal muscles to stabilize here. Exhale, we're going to plant our knee and our hand. Good. We're going to let our big toes meet. We're going to sit back into child's pose. We're going to curl those hands forward, letting our forehead meet the mat. Good. Relaxing that upper body here. We're going to go ahead and crawl our arms over to the left side of our mat. I say the left and then go to the right. So go ahead, whatever side you're on, we're going to go to the other side. Good. So if you're bringing your hands over to the left side of the mat, you're going to push back through your right hip. So whatever side you're going to push back through your opposite hip. Still keeping that head relaxed to the mat. And then our next inhale, we're going to crawl those hands forward, finding that center once more, sinking back a little bit deeper, adjusting ourselves. Our hips sink back towards our heels. And as we exhale, we're going to crawl those hands this time over to the right, or if you went to the right the first time, we're going to go to the left. Whatever way you're reaching, your opposite hip's going to push back, feeling that stretch through that side. Inhale, our hands are going to find center. And then our next inhale, we're going to shift forward, back into tabletop. Good. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to curl our toes under. We're going to come into down dog here, lifting our hips up and back. Good. We've got our fingers spread. We're pushing through our wrists and fingertips. Not just a slight bend in those elbows, our shoulders are pushed down and back. We're long through our spine. Our chest is pushing towards our knees. Our heels are reaching towards the mat. Whether they're there or not does not matter. Everyone's bodies can be a little bit different. We start to pedal out those feet here. Then we call this walk the dog, alternating our heels meeting the mat. Feeling a stretch through those hamstrings. As we inhale, our right foot's going to come up towards the sky. We're on the toes with our left foot. Our right knee is going to bend. We're going to open up that hip to the side here. Then you keep those shoulders down and back, reaching those hips up, coming into a nice hip opener here. Good, and as we inhale, we're going to rotate those hips back forward, knees staying bent. Holding here for a moment. And as we exhale, we're going to shift forward, driving our knee towards the middle of our hands. If exhale, we're going to shift back up, keeping that knee bent. Inhale once more, we're going to shift forward, almost like a one-legged plank, Exhale, we shift back up, and one more time, we crunch that knee forward. Holding here for a moment. Exhale, we release, that leg extends to the sky. And exhale, it meets our mat. Inhale, we're gonna come forward into tabletop. We're gonna shift those hips side to side, rocking them here for just a moment. Good, maybe we bend out those wrists. Maybe it's a little bit more pressure than you're anticipating here. Go ahead and flip them, stretch them a little bit. Roll them out. All right, when you're ready, we flip those feet. Same thing on the other side here. We reach back into our down dog. As we inhale, our left leg is going to come up towards the sky. We bend that knee, and we open up here. Good, letting that hip open, feeling that stretch here. Good, go ahead and flex your foot here. Try to keep those shoulders away from the ears. We're going to want to hunch up, reach that head up and back. We want to keep that neck nice and extended. Good, we're going to go ahead and rotate those hips back square to the ground. Exhale, we drive forward, knee comes up. Inhale, we rise back up, knee stays bent. Exhale, we shift forward into plank, knee comes forward. Exhale, we rise back up. And inhale, last time, knee comes forward, we hold for a moment. Exhale, we rise back up. We extend that leg, planting our foot. We come back into tabletop and come right into child's pose. Finding our breath here. Finding that control. Good. As we inhale, we're going to roll ourselves up, coming into a kneeling position here. What we're going to do next is we're going to continue to stretch out those sides here. We're going to rise up onto our knees, feet are back behind us. We're going to move into gate pose here. What's going to happen next is our right foot is going to extend out to the side. Good, we're nice and long. We're trying to focus. It's really easy to let that hip drop, so we want to try to stay nice and straight through our body over that left knee. As we inhale, our hands are going to come up, shoulders stay down. Exhale, we're going to reach over to that leg, finding either our thigh, our calf, our ankle if you're feeling it. At this point, avoiding right on that knee joint. We just want to avoid any pressure right on top of there. We're creating that space between our head and our neck. So if we're really tight here, we want to create that space, bring that shoulder down and back, chest is open. Good, and at this point, maybe we shift those hips to the left a little bit. If we're really tight, we're going to be right here, we're not going to move any. Inhale, we're going to rise up. And exhale, we're going to forward fold, so hinging from the hips, we're going to come forward, coming into tabletop. We're going to shift those hips over to the left. Trying to deepen this stretch a little bit through the inner hip of that right leg. Inhale, we find that center once more. Good, we're going to stay nice and strong through our core using our hands to assist. We're going to bring ourselves back up, hands rise. Good, and exhale, we're going to come over to our left side, our opposite side here. Good, what I want you to do is find the base on that hand. We're going to focus our weight through our left hand on the floor and our right leg that's extended, trying to take that pressure off of our left knee as if we're coming into a side plank here. Our arm is still up and over. Good, we're somewhere between a side plank and a kneeling side angle. Good, feeling those muscles and on our left side start to engage. Pushing through that right foot and left hand. Inhale, we use those right muscles on our side here to bring ourselves back up. Good, exhale, we release our hands. We bring that right foot in. Good, coming onto the other side, the same thing here. We're gonna bring our left foot out. Inhale, our hands are gonna come up and around. And exhale, we're going to extend over to that left side here. Again, keeping that heart center open. Good, keeping that space around your head. But avoiding that knee area with that left hand. Good, maybe reaching a little bit further here. Inhale, we're going to rise up. Exhale, hinging from the hips, keeping our back nice and flat. We're going to reach down towards the ground here. And I'm bringing my hips over towards the right. And deepening that stretch on the inner left thigh. Inhale, I'm going to transfer that weight back up. I'm going to find my nice flat back. Using my core muscles, I'm going to engage using my glutes. I'm going to squeeze those muscles and I'm going to bring myself back up nice and tall. Good. Inhale, those hands come up. Exhale, we're going to come over to that opposite side now. Then our left arm reaches up and over. We're planting our right hand, fingers spread nice and wide. We're going to put that weight into our right hand and our left foot, trying to relieve as much weight from that right knee as possible. Using those core muscles, continuing to breathe here. Nice and long from our left fingertips to our left toes. Good. Exhale, we transfer that weight back onto that right knee. Inhale, we use those left side muscles here. We bring ourselves back up. Good. We bring that knee down. Our arms come down here. Good. All right, moving through a little bit of core here. We're going to go ahead and bring ourselves seated onto our mat. Good. And what we're going to do is we're going to come back into that boat pose if you were around for last week or the week before. I can't remember. I think it was the week before we went into our boat pose. A lot of different options here. We're going to go through it a little bit different than last time. We have options here so we can bring our hands planted back behind us. We want to point those fingertips forward or ever so slightly to the side. We do want to avoid our palms being closest because we tend to hunch a little bit more. We want to bring those fingertips forward. Like bending those elbows, our shoulders are down and back. Good. Running through the options to show you. We can do all of these with our hands down. We can come up. We can hold right here. We can bring one foot up. We can alternate bringing one foot then the other. We can hold both feet up. We can tap down with both feet. Or we can extend those legs all the way up. We can do all of those as well with our hands forward. So what that would look like is our spine is nice and long here. We bring one foot up. Or we alternate both feet. We can hold here. We can dip with those toes, or we can extend all the way into full boat pose. So find what feels good for you today. Find what's good enough of a challenge. We're going to come here. We're going to hold it for 5 breaths. We're going to go through this 3 times, holding 5 breaths each time. Nice, big, deep breaths, no short little breaths. You want to get the most out of this. The biggest thing is continuing to breathe. I'll cue you through this. It's really easy to hold our breath. So find what's going to be good for you. Alter as you need to as we're holding these. I'm going to bring my hands forward. I'm going to hold with my knees bent. As we inhale, we come up into that boat pose. And we exhale, breathing in again. Exhale, that's 2. Breathing in once more. Exhale, breathing in. And release. And last one, breathe in here. And release, we come back down, extend those legs out. Good, let those hip flexors rest for a moment here. Good, we're gonna get ourselves ready. Same thing, we're gonna bring those knees up. Find where your hands are gonna be. Figure out if you need to add a challenge or if you need to bring it back a little bit. All right, as we inhale, bring our feet up into whatever position. Exhale and release. Inhale, breathe in. Exhale, we release. Inhale, our 3rd breath. And we exhale. Inhale and release. Last one, inhale and exhale. Good, come back into seated. So lean back a little bit, feel those hip flexors stretch. Give them a little break. We're gonna go through this one more time. Again, as just as you need to, if your hands are up, bring them down. If they're down and you want to challenge for the last one, bring them up. Good, change those feet, make them move, keep them stable. All right, last one, 5 breaths here. Good, we get our nice flat back position, hands come forward or meet the ground. Good, inhale, we rise up, and we exhale. Inhale into our second breath. And exhale, inhale, release, 2 more. Breathing in, release, and last one, inhale, exhale, and release that boat pose. Good. We're gonna come onto our back, so using our arms to support, we're rolling back. We're gonna come right into a bridge pose, so planting those heels as close to your hips as comfortable. We start with that pelvic tilt, and we're gonna push up, feeling that release through those hip flexors here. Good, letting that front of our body open up here after coming into that boat pose. Good, we're just gonna hold here. Maybe we adjust a little bit, our shoulders are tucked under, making sure we're pushing through our heels. We've got that pelvic tilt going on still, we're engaging through the glutes. We've got those abdominal muscles working. Good, just holding here for a moment longer. And exhale, we're gonna release. Good, starting to cool down, coming towards the end of our class here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of rewind what we did right at the beginning. So as we inhale, our hands are gonna come up towards the side. And exhale, we're gonna release them back down. Inhale, following our breath here. Exhale, they fall back down. Continuing this pattern here. Starting to slow your breath. Coming back into control. The next time your hands meet overhead, I want you to leave them back overhead. We're going to extend our legs, extend our arms. Maybe that good morning stretch here. Stretch everything out. Good. And on our next inhale, our hands are going to come up. And exhale, they're going to meet back at our sides, palms facing up. Good. We're going to bring those knees back up towards the sky, feet planted. Good. We're going to come into our pelvic tilt again here, inhaling, bringing just the tail of our spine up off the mat and the ground. Moving with our breath here as we inhale, we fill that tailbone up. Exhale, we release. Good. And adding in something a little different than the beginning. We're going to hug our knees to our chest, making sure that our low back is still on the mat, so we often want to curl up and straighten. I want you to just stay relaxed here, let that low back meet the mat. We're just going to rock side to side. Good, kind of self-massage for that low back here. Good, we can let our eyes close here. Good, and what we're going to do next, we're going to bring those knees and feet together. Our hands are going to come to a T, palms are facing the ground. As we exhale, our knees are going to fall over to the left, meeting the mat, and our gaze for an added stretch in our spine is going to come to the right. Letting our whole body relax here. Breathing through the stretch, through the spine. Good, engaging our abdominal muscles on our next inhale. We're going to bring those knees back up towards the sky. And exhale, we're going to let them fall over to the right or the opposite side. Again, having that option to bring our gaze over to the left or the opposite direction of our knees. Breathing through the spine here. Good, we engage those abdominal muscles. As we inhale, we pull those knees back up towards the sky. Good, exhale, we plant those feet back down onto the mat. We're going to extend our legs out. Finding corpse pose here as we begin to move into our final relaxation, Shavasana. Good, we let our feet fall out towards the sky. And our legs relax. Our palms face up towards the sky. We begin to let our whole body relax here. Starting with our toes, the arches of our feet. Relaxing the calves. Relaxing our thighs, our glutes, our hips. Relax the muscles in our belly. That's the ones that we breathe. Relax your fingertips, letting them curl in naturally. Relax your wrists, your forearms. Relax your upper arms, your bicep and tricep muscles. Relax your shoulders. Relax through your neck. Let your jaw release, bringing your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Relax your cheekbones, your forehead. Release any tension in the space between your eyebrows. And relax all of the little muscles around your eyes. And just relax here for the last moment of our practice together. Letting our breath move naturally. Letting our mind wander. Letting ourselves be. We begin to wiggle our fingers and our toes, slowly waking up our body, rolling our arms and legs side to side, letting our head fall side to side. And when you're ready, bring your feet onto the mat, rolling over to your left or right side, whichever you prefer. Bringing our hands together and placing our hands on them, palm over palm, knee over knee, in fetal position, representing a new beginning after our practice. Resting here for a moment. And when we're ready, and only when we're ready, we're going to bring ourselves into a seated position. Legs crossed or extended, whichever you prefer, whichever is more comfortable. As we inhale, our hands are going to come up to the sky together, our palms meet. We bring our palms down, our thumbs tap at our forehead, reminding ourselves to think our best thoughts. Our palms come down, or our thumbs come down to stop at our lips, reminding ourselves to speak our best words. And we rest down at heart center, reminding ourselves to live our best lives. I want to thank you all for joining me in this practice today. The love, the light, and the strength in me shines through and acknowledges the love, the light, and the strength in me. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me. If you have any questions, suggestions, anything like that, feel free to reach out, leave a comment, shoot me an email. Thank you all for being here, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye.